Ricky, this is it.
This is
it!
Let's go!
Wait a minute. Pardon me, sir. Could you tell me when the Queen might be coming out?
Before I began to. You find it in the call circular on the leader page every morning, every fifth paper. Is that quite clear?
Vivian Vance was once an irreplaceable piece of the phenomenon that turned Desi Productions into a global sensation.
Lei ha promesso deve rimanere qui. Rimanga lì, altrimenti sa che lo scherzo. Ecco.
Behind the bursts of laughter that filled television screens, though there was a fierce and largely hidden struggle. She had to sacrifice her own pride and accept harsh agreements behind the scenes. Amid a series of suspicions and fractures that seemed impossible to repair, Desi Arnaz unexpectedly broke his silence.
You believe they won't let us do it? They said, well, can you hide her, behind high chairs or sitting down on a table? I says, not Lucy. When she gets pregnant, brother, there's no question about it.
The powerful producer publicly revealed the entire untold truth about the woman behind the spotlight. What truly happened inside those calculating, shadowed corners of fame? In the summer of 1951, Desi Productions and CBS entered the final stage of preparations to begin filming I Love Lucy, but the project reached a deadlock during casting.
Hey, what happened? Are those your birds up there?
Yeah.
The role of landlady Ethel Mertz remained vacant after the production team's first-choice actress, Bia Benaderet, was tied to an exclusive contract with another radio program. Director Mark Daniels immediately advised Desi Arnaz and producer Jess Oppenheimer to visit the La Jolla Playhouse in California. There, Vivian Vance was playing the leading role in a revival of The Voice of the Turtle. From the very opening scenes, her natural acting talent immediately captured the full attention of the head of Desi. Reflecting on his colleagues' abilities in his autobiography, Desi Arnaz shared, "As soon as I saw her play the first scene, I knew we had found Ethel. She was a wonderful actress, amazingly truthful. Every line, every reaction in her eyes, every movement she made was absolutely perfect." Without waiting for approval from his wife, Lucille Ball, Desi Arnaz went straight backstage as soon as the performance ended to meet Vivian Vance. A preliminary contract was quickly arranged, with a starting salary ranging from $280 to $350 per week. That rapid casting decision immediately drew a guarded reaction from Lucille Ball when the two women met for the first time. The show's leading actress expressed clear disappointment because in real life, Vivian Vance was attractive, well-proportioned, had light blonde hair, and was only 2 years older than Ball. That real-life appearance stood in complete contrast to the original description of Ethel Mertz as older, frumpy, and overweight. Faced with the risk of internal tension just before filming began, Desi Arnaz firmly defended his choice. He persuaded Lucille Ball that Vance's genuine talent and flexible stage instincts were essential to elevating the show's situational comedy. Understanding the demands of the role, the actress born in 1909 willingly agreed to alter her appearance in service of the character. She voluntarily darkened her roots, selected outdated clothes cut tighter than her actual size, gave up false eyelashes, and deliberately practiced a heavier, more awkward way of walking. This transformation came entirely from her own professionalism, clarifying the reality that rumors about a contractual clause forcing her to gain weight were only an inside joke among the cast. Alongside the professional agreements, the producer also paid special attention to Vivian Vance's health history after the psychological breakdown she had previously endured. Desi Productions adopted a disciplined filming schedule lasting exactly 4 days each week, strictly controlling working hours and completely avoiding overnight shoots. This structured working environment allowed the actress to maintain psychological stability and devote herself fully to the character throughout production. The chemistry among the four principal characters quickly turned the series into a nationwide television phenomenon across the United States soon after it began airing. Behind those highly efficient scenes, though, lay a deeply complicated relationship among members of the cast. Personal tensions gradually became more visible, placing the production leadership under increasingly severe pressure. A historic Emmy triumph. From the very first group table read for I Love Lucy, the relationship between Vivian Vance and William Frawley fell into serious conflict. The 22-year age gap between the two actors became a source of friction when Vance casually remarked that her male co-star was closer in age to an elder relative than to someone who should play her husband on screen. William Frawley happened to overhear the comment and developed deep personal resentment. The actor frequently used harsh and insulting language backstage while repeatedly attacking both his female colleagues' singing ability and her acting skills. With the hostile atmosphere directly threatening the production schedule, Desi Arnaz chose a practical approach and placed professionalism above all else. Rather than forcing an artificial personal reconciliation, the head of Desilu Productions instructed the writers to channel their real-life antagonism into the fiery arguments between the married landlords, Fred and Ethel Mertz, on screen. Vivian Vance's patience and her command of stage rhythm transformed real-life dislike into remarkably convincing television chemistry. The producer skillfully positioned himself in the middle, protecting the actress from insulting behavior backstage while also controlling William Frawley's heavy drinking habits to ensure that the studio's filming schedule remained on track. Vivian Vance's sustained artistic effort soon received recognition from the industry. In 1954, she made history by becoming the first performer to win the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress. The prestigious achievement confirmed the strength of her foundational acting technique in the role of a rhythmic anchor, creating a solid platform for the principal cast's comedic performances. Desi Arnaz repeatedly acknowledged his colleagues' singular talent, emphasizing her crucial contribution to the overall success of the television production. Alongside the glow of professional success, Vivian Vance endured intense psychological pressure as the public came to identify her real-life appearance almost completely with the frumpy Ethel Mertz. Her frustration over being permanently typecast grew even more severe as her personal life was shaken by painful upheaval. The long marriage between the actress and Philip Ober was repeatedly marked by conflict caused by emotional and physical violence, eventually leading to a divorce that was formally approved by the court in 1959. In response to the lasting popularity of the supporting characters, Desilu Productions developed plans for a separate spin-off titled The Fred and Ethel Show, a project with enormous commercial value. Vivian Vance firmly refused to sign on because she could no longer endure the emotional strain of working alongside William Frawley. Desi Arnaz respected her decision, canceled the million-dollar commercial project, and quietly arranged a regular role for William Frawley on the television series My Three Sons in order to prevent further public conflict. The end of the classic series also marked major changes in the leadership structure at Desilu, as both marriages and professional relationships gradually fell apart. The actress entered a new stage of her artistic life, with one overriding goal to reclaim control over her personal image and reaffirm her professional dignity. Her independence and insistence on autonomous working conditions opened the way for an important rebuilding of her standing on national television. Artistic autonomy. After the iconic marriage between Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball officially ended full control of Desilu, Productions was transferred to the Comedienne. To maintain its appeal on national television, the studio urgently moved to bring Vivian Vance back for a new project titled The Lucy Show. The Emmy-winning star took an uncompromising position before studio leadership, refusing any concession concerning her image unless all of her conditions were fully met. She demanded that the new character carry her own first name, Vivian Bagley, in order to erase the negative public association with the name Ethel Mertz that had followed her for an entire decade. Vivian Vance also demanded complete freedom in wardrobe, elegant and glamorous makeup, and a presentation that accurately reflected her personal taste in real life. At the same time, she required salary and opening credit billing equal to that of a principal co-star, rather than being placed among less prominent supporting performers. Although he had stepped away from direct management, Desi Arnaz fully supported these firm demands, regarding them as fair and deserved compensation for the artistic dignity and quiet sacrifices of his longtime colleague. Throughout the noisy period of media upheaval surrounding the separation of Desilu's two founders, Vivian Vance maintained the rare position of a trusted bridge, who preserved a sincere and friendly relationship with both sides. She became a close family figure affectionately known as Aunt Viv, frequently spending time with, caring for, and guiding Desi Arnaz's two children, Lucille Arnaz and Desi Jr., in matters related to performance. Her warm and dependable presence amid the internal turmoil created a lasting bond, causing the former studio president to regard her as an inseparable member of his own family. Vivian Vance's personal life entered a calmer new chapter when she married publisher John Dodds in 1961 and decided to move permanently to suburban Connecticut. The demanding production schedule required her to fly constantly between the east and west coasts of the United States, placing an enormous physical burden on her health. In addition, growing disagreements with Lucille Ball over creative contracts and authority on the set pushed the actress toward a decisive choice. In 1965, Vivian Vance officially left The Lucy Show to protect her health and personal freedom. Her departure left a major void for her co-star, but for Vance herself, it was a necessary liberation from living in the shadow of any other name. Her refusal to remain dependent on lucrative television contracts reflected the firm independence and powerful desire for self-determination of a true artist. Leaving the relentless pace of the entertainment capital gave the actress time to confront the darkest corners of her own inner life after years in the industry. The peace of domestic life became a strong foundation that allowed her to take courageous public steps and begin a new journey focused on the wider community. The years that followed documented her extraordinary effort to transform physical and emotional pain into a source of healing inspiration for the public. The final days of her life. Beginning in 1973, Vivian Vance chose to appear on national television forums to speak openly about her long struggle with depression and her experience undergoing intensive psychological treatment. That courageous decision made her one of the pioneering public figures in the United States to challenge social prejudice against people living with mental illness. Her work went beyond public interviews. The actress actively participated in speaking engagements and personally visited patients at numerous specialized medical centers in an effort to raise public awareness of the importance of mental health. Also in 1973, Vivian Vance was diagnosed with breast cancer and soon underwent complex medical treatment. The disease gradually spread to her bones, causing her physical condition to deteriorate severely throughout the second half of the 1970s. On August 17, 1979, the comedian died at her home in Belvedere, California, at the age of 70. Her death left deep sorrow among her family, the entertainment community, and millions of viewers who had grown attached to her work. After receiving the news, Desi Arnaz issued an official statement to the press, expressing his absolute respect for his close colleague. The producer said that losing one of the greatest performers the studio had ever had the privilege and pleasure of working with was an enormous loss, but having to accept the death of one of the best friends of his life was even harder. In later archival materials, The founder of Desi Productions continued to affirm that his gifted colleague had been the steady anchor that kept the entire artistic structure of their comedy programs from ever drifting off course. Vivian Vance's artistic legacy continued to receive deserved recognition and renewed celebration across the decades. In 1991, her name was officially honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, followed by a formal induction into the Television Academy Hall of Fame. Academic studies, television history materials, and supplemental archival publications, updated through August 2026, all emphasize her pioneering stature in the art of supporting performance. Industry experts agree that without her sharp instincts, precise command of comic timing and artistic sacrifice, American television could not have created some of its most enduring comedic icons. Her brilliant accomplishments and resilient attitude throughout the final years of her life explain why Desi Arnaz always held his colleague in the highest regard. To understand the roots of the strength and extraordinary resolve that allowed this artist to remain standing through every storm of fame, the portrait of her life must be traced back to its earliest steps. In the distant landscape of memory, a determined spirit was quietly formed behind the harshest barriers of family life, persistently pursuing a pure, artistic dream. Against the current of memory. Vivian Vance was born on July 26, 1909, in Cherryvale, Kansas, with the birth name Vivian Roberta Jones. Her childhood unfolded through formative years in independence, before she moved with her family to Albuquerque, New Mexico. The young girl's early life was heavily controlled by the extreme religious beliefs of her mother, Euphemia May Reagan, who viewed stage performance as sinful behavior that would lead to punishment. To protect her artistic ambition without damaging the family's reputation, Vivian made the decisive choice to change her surname to Vance, taking inspiration from the first acting teacher who had guided her at the Albuquerque Little Theater. Leaving home in search of greater opportunity, Vivian Vance arrived in New York City and quickly established herself on the prestigious Broadway stage. In 1932, the actress made her first major professional mark when she appeared in the classic musical Music in the Air. Her powerful singing ability and natural charm later placed her on stage alongside legendary star Ethel Mertz in Something for the Boys in 1943. Throughout the 1930s and into the early 1940s, her public image was clearly defined as that of a highly capable blonde actress with an attractive, well-proportioned figure, an expressive singing voice, and exceptional command of the musical theater stage. Alongside the remarkable progress of her performing career, Vivian Vance's private life was marked by painful upheaval. Her third marriage to actor Philip Ober began in 1941 and soon became deeply troubled by prolonged control and emotional violence. Years of accumulated psychological pressure erupted into a severe mental breakdown in 1945 while she was touring with The Voice of the Turtle in Chicago. The actress entered a state of extreme panic, experiencing full-body trembling hallucinations in which the surrounding walls seemed to collapse and chronic insomnia that continued for weeks. The serious crisis forced Vivian Vance to suspend all performing activity and undergo intensive psychoanalytic treatment throughout the latter half of the 1940s. The painful experience of psychological treatment not only helped her regain control of her life, but also gave her a deep understanding of emotional suffering in others. After years of persistent treatment, she decided to return to the stage in the very role that had once accompanied her collapse, demonstrating the rare resilience of an artist who had overcome severe adversity. The past that had been forged through the strict discipline of Broadway, and through her determination to rise above early psychological crises, shaped Vivian Vance into a steady, truthful performer in every gesture. That resilient artist entered television history through quiet sacrifice and the highest level of artistic dignity. Her character and singular talent remain the fullest explanation for the profound respect Desi Arnaz continued to express throughout his life. Looking back across Vivian Vance's entire journey, we see the complete portrait of a true artist, profoundly gifted, unyielding in her resilience, and unwilling to surrender her personal dignity while standing beside the blinding spotlight of television history. She entered the entertainment world through sheer discipline on the Broadway stage, weathering intense personal heartbreak, debilitating psychological struggles, and the heavy weight of social expectations. When Desi Arnaz recognized her rare brilliance at the La Jolla Playhouse, she made the conscious decision to submerge her natural glamour into the unpolished, everyday persona of Ethel Mertz. This deliberate creative sacrifice transformed the American sitcom landscape forever. Her flawless comic timing, understated reactions, and absolute authenticity provided the vital anchor that allowed Lucille Ball's dynamic physical comedy to soar. Industry pressures frequently attempted to reduce her worth to that of a conventional sidekick, but Vance consistently fought for artistic autonomy, professional parity, and the reclamation of her own identity. Her historic triumph as the first performer to win a Primetime Emmy for Best Supporting Actress proved that subtle precision holds just as much power as overt spectacle. Desi Arnaz understood this truth better than anyone in Hollywood. His lifelong defense of her craft and his steadfast loyalty reflected a profound professional reverence. In his eyes, she was an indispensable collaborator whose integrity sustained an entire entertainment empire. Beyond the studio gates, her pioneering courage to speak publicly about mental health struggles cemented a legacy of deep empathy and courage. The enduring respect Desi Arnaz held for her stands as permanent proof of an extraordinary woman who redefined television comedy entirely on her own terms. Which milestone in Vivian Vance's turbulent life impressed you most? Or what did you think of Desi Arnaz's resolute way of handling matters behind the scenes at Desilu? Share your thoughts and perspective in the comments below so we can discuss them together. If you found this material and story valuable, do not forget to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss the next character profiles and hidden chapters of film history. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye, and see you again in the videos to come.